Welcome back to week 10 of Couch Readings. I'm your host, Ryan Thornhill. Before we get started, there's just something quickly that I wanted to bring up. Around the world, countries and communities are beginning to open up again. Sporting events are being held, bars and restaurants are open, and the majority of people are back to work. That unfortunately is not the case for theaters and theater practitioners. It's still going to be a while again before we can all enjoy live theater. So, if you're an avid theater goer and like to support the arts, check out the websites of your local theaters. The majority of them have a support tab that allows you to give a donation. Yes, all theater and theater practitioners need our help, but it's your small local theaters that are hurting really bad. And remember, no donation is too small, every cent helps. This week, we will be presenting a special edition of our Couch Readings titled Couch Monologues. These monologues were created during a Saturday Monologue Fest we hosted a couple weeks back. We had playwrights from all over the globe participate, and we are so excited to share them with you today. These monologues consist of 5 female playwrights, performed by 8 female actors from New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States, and they all explore themes like a historical British spy, the hardships of being a military wife, the disappearance of a best friend, what it's like to constantly hear your name pronounced wrong, and how being an artist isn't as glamorous as it seems to be. Please feel free to leave questions or comments during the stream to engage with the playwrights and actors. Thank you again for joining us today, and we hope you enjoy our special edition series, Couch Monologues.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So next one, we're going to find one, Judy, I promise. So this one looks like it was taken by someone else. It might be from when she went to Tenerife with Anthony and Jamie. Yeah, so Anthony must have taken this photo. I think they're in a hotel room. All the walls are white, there's a bed in the corner, bed sheets are white. She's holding a glass. Martini, I think. It's got an olive on a cocktail stick hanging out of it. I think that's what people do with martinis, isn't it? She's holding the glass by her face, but it's not so big that it's obscuring anything, but her hand is also sort of in the way. Her hands are manicured. Her nails are painted. Really pretty pale pinkish colour. She's wearing a ring on her forefinger and on her what is it? What's the finger that's before your pinky? Yeah, your ring finger. She's got a ring on her ring finger. Her hair's tied up in a towel on the top of her head. You can just see a dark bit of her hair peeking through the towel. I think she's wearing a necklace. I'm not sure. It could be a necklace, but it could also be a shadow. Might just be the way the shadows are forming around her neck. That's that one. Can't see her face so much though, so don't think it's going to be a good one for the police to use. So next. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of this, am I? Sorry. So this one, you can see her face better in this one. I took this one. She let me use her camera, so we were I know you and I didn't always... we didn't always... but I love her, Judy. I love your daughter. And we're going to find just the right picture of her. And we're going to find her too, I promise you. I'm sorry that she, when I was there, should have happened while I was there. But it did. And I know you might not be able to forgive me for letting her slip through my fingers, because I can't forgive myself. But moping around isn't going to sift through these, so
My mother was left at the altar. I was left at my husband's second favourite Italian restaurant over a plate of really average bruschetta. He said he was coming back, and he said it was temporary. But it's been 6 months. Okay, let me lay out the moment for you. Him, 3-piece suit. Me, third favourite dress. Second favourite necklace. You've got to take me to the best restaurant in town if you want me to break out the pearls, not Carl's friend's place. No, that's not fair. It's fine. It doesn't mean Casio Pepe. It's just that the wine is too expensive. It's our 5-year anniversary, and I'm good. I'm happy. I've definitely not had too much to drink. He's talking about work, something which always goes way over my head, but I know it's got something to do with fighting robots and damsels in distress when... Old military dude. Grey hair. Medals. Uniform, the works. I mean, he walks right up to our table. It's all very formal and far too dressy for Carl's friend's place. I suddenly regret my third favourite dress. Husband freezes beside me. He looks angry, stricken, annoyed. No, he looks like a mixture of all both, with a dash of humility and a sprinkle of ambition. The old military guy does a saluting thing. My husband does the same. They both look very annoyed. It's time, the old military guy says, in this voice that sounds like rocks being ground together, and he's still not smiling. I almost feel the need to crack a joke, but I'm not put in the narrative to be funny, so I manage to keep it down. But I can't, my husband says, staring off into the middle distance with this mournful look in his eyes. It's my anniversary. And yes, I am annoyed. It's our anniversary. We're only halfway through our starters. Is he saying he's going to leave? Where are you going? He can't tell you, the military guy says, before my husband even tries to reply. And the thing is, I didn't think... Well, it didn't look like he was even going to make the effort. But I start, but then something wells up in me a little. It's It's a compulsion. It's a little like the urge I get to throw up sometimes. The words stick in my throat. I try again, but I don't even get that far. Suddenly, like a puppet on a string, I bolt upright, and the words are coming deep from somewhere in my soul. Go. Go. I'll be waiting for you. Honey? Husband says, looking deep into my eyes, and I have to resist the urge to drown in his blue, green, hazel orbs, and I say, sighing heavily, go. Go and save the world. Though I'm not sure how I know that he needs to save the world, I know that he's going to do it. We can have our anniversary when you get back. And then I kiss him, and it's fantastic. It's like no kiss we've ever had. And then without a look back, he leaves. I haven't moved for 6 months. Waiting just gets boring after a while. First you finish your wine, then you have another, and another, and then you eat most of the bruschetta and you watch the rest dry out and wither and grow mold. And out the window the seasons pass by. Winter is windy, spring is damp. I'm hoping for sunshine for Christmas. And I wonder when husband will come back.
I have a sickness. I say that to my friends and they laugh. Not to be cruel, mind you. They laugh because they can sense the irony in my words. Or maybe they laugh because they too have the sickness. They laugh because it's the only socially acceptable way to admit that we are, in fact, all narcissists. For my friends, like me, are all artists. We're not interested in the simple joys that you normies suffer through. We don't awake with desires of snack foods or cravings of being outside. These are not our moods because we have a sickness. For us, you see, we wake up in the mood to spend the next year and a half of our lives in emotional agony. We have a craving to spend a full year in the toxic bipolar prison of artistic expression, questioning our own self-worth and well-being so that you can have one single art that you will completely ignore. But ignoring our art is the worst thing you could do. We're narcissists, remember? You can't just ignore us. Our sickness won't let you. It will get your attention. It will look for new sicknesses to mate with. One divorce later, and I have my new masterpiece that my mom found, quote, unpleasant. 3 months of constant one-night stands, and I've created an art that's just as frightening as last week's broken condom. Only more people enjoyed the broken condom than the art. An abortion and 3 benders later, and I finally have that art that earned 20 likes on Facebook. So behold, my latest disappointment. Do not acknowledge its existence, for it feeds off your praise. And should you feed it, you will, by extension, remind me that my only self-worth comes from the art that I make for you. I need so badly to be your center of attention because, you see, I am starving, emotionally starving, and your praise is as filling as bubblegum. But I've never been fed a real meal before, so I don't know the difference.
We are here today and gone tomorrow. Our life flickers, our soul wanders, drifting about like a thistle in the wind. Many think that the thistle has no control over its journey, that the winds of change alone decide its destination. But the path a thistle takes is its alone. The thistle might not defeat the wind, but it can direct it. It can fight it if it so chooses. The thistle of my life could have been carried anywhere. I could have given up and left my fate up to chance, let life toss me where it might. Most people do. I could have been like any other lady, but I chose not to. I had more in store, you see. More tricks up my sleeves, more life to live, more love to experience, and more debt to pay. I always knew I'd write. I was not the first after all. Others had come before me, though not many, so I knew it would be possible. I wrote fiction, I wrote poetry, I wrote plays. Oh, the plays. There's nothing quite like seeing your words take flight and land on the stage in front of you, living and breathing, flesh just in reach. My plays would be performed and, oh, what a joy, what a pleasure. But sometimes a pain too. Sometimes it was too painful to watch. Plays are more real than other writings, are they not? As much joy as they brought, they also brought pain. The plights I pointed out, poked holes in, sometimes rang altogether too true. I could not bear. I took breaks from writing sometimes. I disappeared sometimes. I was not always me. Charles asked it of me, you know. And who says no to a king? He asked me to be someone other than me, to report back to him. A spy. A lark, I thought it would be. A game. But really, it was a farce. I should have known it would be. Who else but me should experience something so theatrical? I was not just a playwright, but an actress myself. I always thought acting was about revealing your emotions, staying vulnerable. But I learned quickly that it's the opposite. It's about hiding how you feel, making sure no one knows, no one ever knows, and showing the world what they want to see, what they expect to see. Charles thought it would be humorous to codename me Estrella, with the spirit of renewal, the era of cultural enlightenment under him. I was to be cast in his image. It was too funny to have a woman like me named after a virgin goddess of purity and innocence. The joke was twofold. But I took that name, that identity, and made it my own. made it the only part of me to last. When I wrote, I was Estrella, taking her name, claiming it and reclaiming it for myself. I didn't need to be Afro. Why would I, when I could be someone larger than life, when I could be Estrella? No mere mortal could hold back a goddess, no matter what they threw at her. And so they didn't. Alexander Pope wrote, "The stage, how loosely does Estrella tread, who fairly puts all characters to bed." I've been called a palimpsest, someone who has scratched herself out, not so much a woman to be unmasked as an unending combination of masks. I lived that way because I had to stay strong, impartial, immovable, unfazed. I stayed strong because I had to. Not for me, not for Charles, but for you. For all us women, for Estrella. If I were to take her name, I would have to live up to it now, wouldn't I? Virginia Woolf wrote, "All women together ought to let flowers fall upon the grave of Afrabane, for it was she who earned them the right to speak their minds. Vane proved that money could be made by writing at the sacrifice, perhaps, of certain agreeable qualities, and so by degrees writing became not merely a sign of folly and a distracted mind, but was of practical importance." They say Estrella was the last of the immortals to live with humans before she too finally had to turn her back on them, as did I. But they also say she will one day come back to Earth, heralding the return of the utopian golden age that would set the world alight. And when that time is right, I'll be back too.
Why don't they get it? It's so very simple. It's not really that hard to say. It's just my name. It's not like I'm asking them to do rocket science. Irony. I feel like I'm waving a huge flag with flashing lights reading Beatrix Goldberg.
That's my name. Beatrice Goldberg with 3 arrows clearly pointed at the 2 words. That's my name. Beatrix Goldberg. Can I scream it any louder? I'm Beatrix Goldberg. The quiet, academic, socially awkward girl who's loved stars and space all her life. I finally got my dream job, but I don't feel like I'm living the dream. So why don't they call me by my name? It feels like they undermine me all the time, downgrading my name of Beatrix down to some sexy stripper's name of Trixie. I am not a hooker. I'm a chief engineer at NASA who wears a formal uniform to work. Not a thong. But is that my fault? Do I need to earn their respect enough to be called Beatrix? I mean, it's only been 5 months working here, but it seems like Jeremy, Dave, or Paul could do my job better. Even clumsy Carson could easily perform better than me at my job.
These men all walk into work confident that they could be the next chief engineer of the Space Communications and Navigations program. What if they think I'm not right for the job position? When I got the acceptance announcement, I thought it was a prank call. Me, Beatrice Goldberg, working at NASA? No. That was impossible. Yet I swipe my staff ID to park my car, let me into buildings, and pass security every day.
14 years of study, and now Beatrix Goldberg has made it here. To NASA. But it's just NASA. It's nothing fancy. Or it's fancy. Oh, maybe Trixie will catch on one day. I don't know. I'll adopt a sexy name and I can get a raise. Maybe I don't know. Oh, Jesus, I can't even think like that. Because I'm Beatrix Goldberg. That's me. Hey, Trixie!
Wow, some really thought-provoking stuff there, just brilliant. I just want to take this time to thank all of the playwrights for being part of our Saturday Monologue Festival and allowing us to showcase their work. All of their dedication to their art is extremely inspiring. And to the actors who took time out of their busy schedules to rehearse and perform these wonderful monologues, I thank you as well. My goal for this series has always been to provide a source for playwrights to hear their words aloud and allow them to rework and edit based on what they hear, and I hope that this experience has been beneficial. Here at Thornhill Theatre Space, we have been developing an extremely exciting new project, and we just wanted to let you all know to keep an eye out on our social media pages toward the end of this week for the announcement of what this project will be. I am so very excited about it and cannot wait to share it with the world. On behalf of myself, all of the playwrights and actors, I would like to thank you for joining us today for our special edition of Couch Monologues. Follow Thornhill Theatre Space on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep up to date. You can also find all of our previous couch readings on our YouTube channel. Again, thank you for joining us, and have a great day.